Kazakhstan has chosen the multi-vector integration. Its trends, collisions and prospects are coming up in the Single Market Program.
Здравствуйте, с вами
Hello, my name is Pavел Коктышев, and you're watching Single Market.
границ. С мая этого года национальные рынки лекарств.
Starting in May of this year, the domestic pharmaceutical markets of the Eurasian Economic Union countries commenced their work within the format of a single market. The creation of a single pharmaceutical market became possible after the ratification of its legislative norms by the members of the Integration Union. Our correspondent in Moscow, Laura Jusubekova, brings us the details of how it functions.
Московский корреспондент Лаура Джусубекова.
Общий рынок – это единый...
A single market means a unified database and registration procedure of all pharmaceutical and medicinal products for all the member countries of the Union. In the first days and even months of its functioning, consumers may not notice any changes. However, the first thing that is immediately noticeable is that in the majority of the countries, the range of available pharmaceutical products will increase, in some countries even manifold.
Увеличится ассортимент аптечной продукции, и где-то даже в разы.
The market has been launched. Documents that regulate the functioning of the single pharmaceutical market, development, production, registration, and distribution are no longer just draft laws, but are already part of the legislative regulatory framework of the Eurasian Economic Union. And this can be seen as another breakthrough in the Eurasian integration. The Eurasian Economic Commission has been assigned the task of coordinating the functioning of the pharmaceutical market and creating a database with the results of quality control of products and information on counterfeit products. At the same time, the national regulatory bodies will continue their work.
Сохраняются все национальные регулирующие органы.
All the national level regulatory bodies will continue their operations, and the network of quality control laboratories which were created in each state will be maintained. The only thing is that their work will be coordinated. For example, the procedures of research and analysis of pharmaceutical products done at one lab will be accepted by all the laboratories of all member states.
Но и лаборатории будут признаваться всеми лабораториями всех государств.
Experts believe that the first pharmaceutical products that have the Eurasian Economic Union Market Access Certification marks will appear in pharmacies after about 10 months after the commencement of the work of the single market. At the same time, until 2025, this will be a transition period. Within its framework, the sale of products that have been registered up to now by national laboratories will be recognized as legitimate. This is in order to ensure the uninterrupted work of the market. Within the context of new rules of the single pharmaceutical market, the quality control of pharmaceutical products are set by the Pharmacopoeia of the Union. It was established using the world's best experience as a foundation. That is why the quality requirements of products sold in the Eurasian Economic Union will be much higher than before. As a result, this novel introduction first and foremost addresses the interests of consumers. Not only pharmaceutical products, but also medicinal items will be subject to unified rules on the pharmaceutical market of the Eurasian Economic Union. Their range is quite wide and diverse, from bandages to hospital beds. A legislative base has also been established for the product item list. None of the Eurasian Economic Union member countries have so far had a similar one. These are common requirements of safety, effectiveness, and quality of medicinal products, standards of conduct of technical and biological clinical trials. In addition, there are requirements on the annotation of pharmaceutical products and medical items. In order to avoid the challenges of translation and differing interpretation, the information on pharmaceutical products will be provided in different languages and in a clear format.
Мы не увидим больше таких простыней, в которых...
We will no longer have labels that have sections that are difficult to understand by consumers, for example, pharmacodynamics or pharmacokinetics. Therefore, the instructions will be in a format of an informative flyer for the patient with 6 main sections.
Будут изложены 6 основных разделов.
These sections will include information on the content of the product, indications for use, forms of administration and dosage, counterindication, precautionary measures, and storage conditions. By the way, the requirements and standards for pharmaceutical products and medical items will be common not just for the producers of the Integration Union, but also of other countries. Representatives of the Eurasian Economic Commission believe that consumers will not feel the impact of the single pharmaceutical market right away, but approximately at the beginning of 2018, because on average it takes 7 to 8 months from the moment of the filling of the registration application of a pharmaceutical product until it appears on the market for sale. But when the single market starts working in full mode, the competition between producers will be quite strong. And in the fight for the place under the sun on the Eurasian Economic Union market, pharmaceutical companies will start optimizing the prices of their products. Laura Jusubekova, Moscow, exclusively for Single Market.
Кыргызстан – ближайший приграничный сосед Казахстана и партнер по Евразии.
Kyrgyzstan is Kazakhstan's closest neighbor and Eurasian Economic Union partner. Last year, this country's export volumes to Kazakhstan amounted to more than $200 million, and Kazakhstan's exports to Kyrgyzstan amounted to $376 million. By the way, from the countries of the Eurasian Economic Union, Kazakhstan had a positive trade balance only with Kyrgyzstan. The end-of-year results will let us know about the trade turnover situation in 2017. But for now, let's find out what the representatives of business communities of both countries think about the prospects of cooperation.
Сотрудничество бизнес-сообщества обеих стран.
It was in 2012 when the trade mission of Kazakhstan's producers visited Kyrgyzstan for the first time. The forum was quite successful, and a decision was adopted to hold it annually. Some background information. Over the 5 years that the Bishkek Forum has been held, contracts worth $30 million were concluded between the neighboring countries. In 2017, 30 companies from Kazakhstan and 120 companies from Kyrgyzstan took part in the Trade Mission Forum in Bishkek. It should be noted that the business communities of our neighbors were mostly represented by distributors, and Kazakhstan's companies by goods producers. Looking at trade turnover between Kyrgyzstan and Kazakhstan, according to the results of 2016, it amounted to more than $500 million. At some point in time, our trade turnover reached more than $1 billion. That is why we have initiated the business forum Kazakhstan-Kyrgyzstan in order to present the industrial potential of Kazakhstan. The range of Kazakhstan's products was diverse enough. There were producers from the construction sector, food products, as well as from the chemical, pharmaceutical, and machine building sectors. The company EAEU Electric, the leader of Kazakhstan's market of transformer equipment, is one of the biggest exporters of products of the processing industry. Last year, the volume of exports to Kyrgyzstan amounted to $500,000. This resulted in the establishment of one of the biggest transformers of the enterprise, with a capacity of 10 megawatt at the Manas airport. Negotiations were conducted with the company Jalalabad Electric. We're hoping for the delivery of equipment with a capacity of 6,300 kilovolts, approximately in 1 to 2 months. Another participant of the trade mission in Bishkek is the company Avrora. This Kazakhstani enterprise produces around 100 product items of the chemical industry.
Мы проводили анализ рынка. Примерно емкость рынка составляет до 30%.
We conducted a market analysis. The volume of the market is approximately up to 30% of Kazakhstan's market. But the prices and volumes are just estimates. But we are ready to work, ready to open a representative branch here. Overall, we're already working in this direction.
Ведутся работы по этому направлению.
Eco Product Group is a young and dynamically developing company from Astana. By the way, this is the first time that it is taking part in a foreign trade mission. The management is planning to find its own niche on Kyrgyzstan's market with the help of such unique eco products such as bio bags, which are made out of sugarcane. In Kazakhstan, we're the first implementing this type of know-how, the first to produce environmentally clean bags. At the moment, the product range includes garbage bags, pre-packaging bags, and regular t-shirt bags with logos. The company K-Color has been engaged in the production of paint and varnish products for more than 15 years. It already has experience in shipping abroad. For this company, Kyrgyzstan is an opportunity to expand its export geography. After conducting the market analysis, it was decided that there will be a focus on texture coatings, road surface, and facades. Here I noticed that there is good construction work ongoing, and this product, in terms of price as well as quality, is very competitive. Food products hold a substantial share in Kazakhstan's export volumes to Kyrgyzstan. That is why among the forum participants, there were 8 Kazakhstani producers which specialize in this sector. Kazakhstan's producers are closer to us, in terms of mentality, geographically closer. Therefore, it is easier to sell products, and I think that Kazakhstan's production has a greater advantage over other ones. Within the framework of the trade mission in Bishkek, Kazakhstan's producers of food products met with the management of Kyrgyzstan's biggest distribution network, which includes 54 supermarkets across the entire country.
Мы также приглашаем на наш рынок казахстанских инвесторов.
We're inviting Kazakhstan's investors onto our market. We have created favorable conditions for conduct of business activities. They are identical to the conditions in place in your country in terms of taxation and customs tariffs preferences.
И по условиям таможенных преференций.
The final result of the forum, during which the business communities of the two neighboring countries met, will be known after a couple of months. But for now, we can speak about interim results. Thanks to the facilitation from the national company Kazakh Invest and the Chamber of Trade and Commerce of Kyrgyzstan, this year during the forum, export contracts were concluded for the delivery of goods in the amount of $11.8 million. Oleg Boldarev, Bakhajan Bakhriyev, exclusively for Single Market. The World Gold Council is forecasting that in 2017, the purchases of this precious metal will reach the upper limit, which fluctuates within the range of 650 to 750 tons. What is this forecast based on, and how justified it is, and what is the situation with the gold reserves in the countries of the Eurasian Economic Union? Our Navigator reporter brings us the analysis.
Сколько весят мировые золотовалютные резервы? У кого какие?
What is the value of the world's gold reserves? Who has how much of this precious metal? And what is the share of the total volume? The World Gold Council conducts the monitoring of this, and on the basis of collected data compiles the rating of 100 positions. In 2017, the top 5 positions were distributed as follows. In first place, United States. The country's reserve volumes amount to 8,133 tons. In second place, Germany with 3,378 tons. In third place, Italy with 2,452 tons. In fourth, France, 2,436 tons. And China closes off the top 5 with 1,843 tons.
1843 тонны. Что касается стран Евразийского экономического союза.
Regarding the countries of the Eurasian Economic Union, their positions in the rating of the World Gold Council are quite convincing. For example, Russia is in 7th place. The country possesses 1,645 tons, and the share of gold in the gold and foreign currency reserves is 17%. Kazakhstan is in 21st position with 268 tons and a 36% share of gold.
36%.
Belarus is in 48th place with 40.7 tons. Kyrgyzstan has also made it to the list of 100 countries in terms of its gold and foreign currency reserves. The country possesses 4.9 tons of gold. Unfortunately, the experts of the World Gold Council did not have information on the gold reserves of Armenia. And now about the trends. In the recent times, many developed countries look at gold as an anachronism and are reducing their share. For example, Canada reduced the volumes of this precious metal to a symbolic 2.5 kilograms.
2,5 килограмма. В то же время эта тенденция обошла стороной России.
At the same time, this trend has bypassed Russia and Kazakhstan. These countries are, on the contrary, increasing their reserves. Our bordering neighbors and Eurasian Economic Union partners are even leading the world in this process. Last year, Russia's central bank purchased more than 200 tons of gold, and Kazakhstan's 36 tons. And instead of a summary, even a person who is not so savvy in economic affairs understands that in the current climate one cannot be sure of anything. Everything is changing. Therefore, only time will show whether it is better to increase or decrease gold reserves. However, a clarification must be made. We're talking about short and mid-term perspectives. That's all from me. My name is Alexander Galiyev. Until next time on Single Market.
Рынок без границ.
To make an offer that is difficult to refuse. Not just clients and consumers dream of this type of cooperation, but also entrepreneurs themselves, the market participants that offer their products and services. And here we're talking about the creation of a favorable business environment for them. Anarta Stanbekova brings us the report on how this looks like in the context of one specific platform for business activities, which has a trans-border status. Horgos. Today, this is where not just road and railway lines of China and Kazakhstan meet, but also the business interests of the neighboring countries, on whose cooperation the prospects of trade between the East and West depend to a great extent. That is why every meeting that takes place at the business platform of the International Center of Near-Border Cooperation is making its contribution to the development of world trade relations. And the business sector is playing the main role in this. Businesses, as direct participants of the process ongoing here, are influencing the development of trade and economic cooperation. With this understanding, the Horgos International Center of Near-Border Cooperation is trying to use every available possibility to conduct business meetings. In May of this year, it organized a forum on its business platform. Among its participants, there were the National Chamber of Entrepreneurs, the Outer Chamber, Kazakhstan's Ministry of Agriculture, the Kazakh Timirjoli National Company, a delegation from China, and the administration of the center itself, which provided information on investment volumes.
Государство вложило на сегодняшний день 50 миллиардов.
To this day, the government has invested 50 billion into the infrastructure and 300 billion in private investments were attracted. By the end of the year, we're planning to attract another 30 million.
До конца года мы планируем еще 300 миллиардов привлечь.
By looking at the numbers, one can note that the main investments into the development of the Horgos International Center of Near-Border Cooperation are coming from private sources. And this is a good sign, because a company that invests its own money into a business project is always interested in getting productive results.
У нас 3,4 гектаров, и из них идет около 37 тысяч квадратных метров стройка.
We're planning to build business centers, hotels, leisure zones, and a park on the territory of the International Center. This will be a caravanserai on a territory of 4 hectares, 37,000 square meters of a developed site. In comparison with other projects, we're combining Asian culture with European and the past with the future.
Относительно другим проектам мы немножко совмещаем азиатскую культуру с европейской культурой. И плюс прошлое совмещаем в будущем.
By the way, not just Kazakhstan's, but also foreign companies intend to participate in the realization of business projects on the territory of the International Center of Near-Border Cooperation. A certain level of competition can already be observed between them.
Okay, I'm a commercial manager for an Italian design team, and we basically design buildings, also do construction, supply furnishings, that sort of thing. Well, we hope so. We made a proposal. We're from Venice, and our company would like to propose a design for one of the Italian commercial centers.
These are projects that will be realized on Kazakhstan's part of the center. On China's territory, trade and service providing entities are working in full mode already today. And here, Kazakhstan's companies that want to bring in their products, mostly food products, encounter difficulties. For example, Kazakhstan's biggest producer and exporter of confectionery products, Rahat, ran into problems connected with customs clearance.
Наш товар заходит с учетом НДС на рынок МЦПС.
Our products enter the territory of the International Center whilst taxed, and the tax rate is 12%. Considering that, for example, products from Russia do not pay the tax, this makes us non-competitive.
Вот здесь вот мы уже становимся неконкурентоспособны.
According to the representatives of the Horgos International Center, such issues will soon be taken off the daily agenda. A special economic zone will be established here, which will have a special framework of operations for entrepreneurs, simplified rules of entry and exit, possibility of employment without visas and permits, and tax incentives. The only tax that will be maintained within the special economic zone is the social tax. The decree on the creation of the International Center has already been sent for approval. Once it is approved, a draft law will be issued which makes provisions for the special regime. For example, if there is a 0% added value tax, then there will be practically no need to pay taxes. The format of transnational cooperation, which is offered by the ICBC, allows to develop not just trade and business, but also the tourism sector. Our aim is the development of close mutual ties between our countries by organizing tours, business meetings, and individualized programs. With the signing of the intergovernmental agreement on the waiving of visa requirements, this process has been substantially simplified. Tourists from China can unimpededly visit Kazakhstan, and we as well will be able to offer Kazakhstan's tourists a greater variety of interesting routes. In the first 4 months of 2017, ICBC Horgos was visited by more than 700,000 residents of China, and all of them are potential tourists who are ready to continue their travels across Kazakhstan. Taking into account this trend, there are plans to open a passport and visa issuance service point here. It will be used by tourists that would like to visit other regions of the country. To create on the territory of the ICBC an effect of centrifugal forces in order for this transborder territory to become a place where not just guests, but also business representatives feel comfortable, because they are the ones on whom it depends whether this center will be able to truly live up to its status of an international center. Анарта Самбекова, Бахыджан Бахриев, Horgos, exclusively for Single Market.
Рынок без границ.
That's all for today. My name is Pavel Koktышев. Kind reminder, all the episodes of our program are available on www.kazakh-tv.kz. Until next time on Single Market.